Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're brand new. I'm James, I'm a full-time reseller. I was more niched into clothing for a while. I started as an everything seller. I'm back now probably to being an everything seller, I'll be honest with you. Some of the sales you'll see today are non-clothing items. When I go out sourcing now, especially at the weekends at the boot sales, I pick up some everything stuff. So today, I thought we'd talk a little bit about why I've decided to maybe go back slightly more towards the everything side, but to also pick the sales from the weekend. So on eBay, we have 20 sales to pick on eBay and on Vinted. When I load up the screen, I think we have... Vinted was a little bit slow this weekend, I don't mind saying. We have 1, 2, 3 sales on Vinted. So Vinted was a bit poor this weekend. I'm going to do a video this week about how I'm going to get stuck back into Vinted again. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's pick the first order. We have a Patagonia fleece. I got this from the car boot sale. Cost of goods on this one was £3. 5056 women's Patagonia fleece here. I'll flash up the comps, I always do. This one here sold for £32.39, and that was £3 at the car boot a while ago. So let me drop that in the bag and let's get to the next one. Now this one was probably a bit of a poor pickup. It was £1 from the charity shop. It sold for 15. It's a vintage Pringle sports jumper. It did have a few marks on it, so maybe I shouldn't have picked it up, but it's 5256. There we are. So proper Pringle, the vintage stuff. So yeah, as I say, it's probably one of them where maybe I shouldn't have grabbed, but we did, and that sold for £15. Next up, we've got a Tottenham Hotspur training drill top. These are the play issue stuff I've got, the women's stuff. Picked up a massive bundle of this at the car boot. I think it was £70 I paid. Got quite a few bits, and this sold for £19 plus the post. We're already in profit on the Spurs stuff. 5232. There we are. As I say, it's not all clothing, I promise. I know a lot of you watch these videos have actually commented saying you prefer it a lot more now. I'm not just doing the clothing, which is great. So we'll get to the non-clothing stuff very soon. Next up, a Whistles top. This is part of the clearance stuff I'm running at the moment. I'm trying to clear lots of low value stuff where I've picked up before, made mistakes. 4691, so we're well over this way, pre-packed. But I will, as always, flash up the comp for you. Sold for £7.19 plus the post. Cost of goods, I don't know, a couple of pounds maybe. Definitely a fail. Paul and Shark shirt, 5394. Now, I think this is the one where I've got at home, 4394, yes. So this is one of my recent pickups I got on last Friday at the charity shop for £2.99. Sold for £23.99. I'll flash up the comp. I'll pick that when I'm home. Similar for the next one. This is a non-clothing sale. We sold the Canon camera. I showed it in last week's car boot video where I picked up a Canon camera for £15 in the case, and it came with a separate lens. I've got the lens listed separately. I think that lens is up for 65. The camera itself, and it came with the camera, a lens, some accessories, the discs, etc. That sold for £99.99 plus the post. Went pretty quickly. I'll flash up the screenshot here so you can have a look. So 15 into £99.99, very good, and I've still got the lens, as I say. So even if that sells for £50, that was a good pickup. Wax London jumper, a good brand to look out for. This is sat around for a little while. I paid £8 at the charity shop for this, 4841. Had loads of offers, finally accepted an offer of £40 and 50 pence for this one. It's just a large green merino wool jumper, but Wax London. Keep it in mind when looking out and sourcing. Now, I had a few good sales on Saturday. The camera was one of them, that Wax London, and it was like back to back to back. The third of them back-to-back sales on Saturday was the Chelsea Gilet, 5348. Now, I don't know whether I've brought this over with me yet. Yeah, it is one that is at home. Again, I'll flash up the comps and the screenshot of the item. This is part of the stuff that Luke and I picked up a few weeks ago. I'm in profit based on one of the shirts selling already, so all of this is pure profit. It sold for £95 plus the postage. Next, we've got a Toast Top 5286 just down here. Nothing special on this one. I got it cheap. Can't remember how much it was, couple of pound maximum. It sold for £20, just a long sleeve linen toast top, nothing crazy, but £20 in the bank. Next up, a good sale. If you would have watched the video I done with the consignment deal with Ross, my friend, part of the deal was a PlayStation 4 here. And this PlayStation 4 Pro, we accepted an offer of £159.99. Now, we could have held out for a little bit more. This is the last console of the consignment deal, and we wanted it gone. And the price on PlayStation 4s have tanked slightly. So let me know whether we should have held out for a little bit more. But this went for £159.99 plus the £4.99 shipping for that one there. Next, pre-packed. I'm doing this a lot with the Everything stuff. I'm actually pre-packing things. We've got a Bose remote control. I picked up a Bose bundle when I was at the Wednesday car boot with Jamie Dodger a few months ago. Haven't got round to listing it. Listed it at the weekend, last weekend it was, and the remote sold today for £12. So that was good. That can get chucked in there. Another non-clothing item, you'll be pleased to know, some of you. We sold a Apple Airport Express 2nd generation. This sold for £29. It came with the lead. I got this from Moss End Car Boot probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Had it up for 35. They sent the offer at 29 and we accepted. Cost of goods on that, I think I paid a £5, if I remember right. We sold a Oakley polo shirt, 5016. Again, nothing crazy, just a blue polo shirt. It's got the metal logo, which is quite cool. Sold for £21.59. We sold some motocross boots here. Again, pre-packed them to make it easier to know exactly what I'm looking for. These sold for £27.99. They are size 2, so they're more junior size. Didn't realise at the time of picking up about the sizes when it comes to motorcycle boots. They look bigger. Then when I looked at the sizes, it was a size 2. I paid £10 for these. They sold for £27.99. Not the best. I need to really learn the motorcycle market. There's some good money in that market, so we're going to be putting some more time into learning that. A pair of trousers here, a brand called Adam, and I think it's called Sheena, is how you pronounce it, of London. They sold for £21. I got the full suit for £2.99. We got the blazer separately. So 5080. Now, this is one where I can't find it in the box. That's a worry. Let's see if I've skewed it wrong. All right, yeah, perfect example, and I'll show you. It's 5084. I've showed this before. Perfect example why. In my last picture, I always do a picture of the SKU number. So I'm guessing 5080 is probably the jacket, but 5084 for the trousers, nothing special. £21 in the bank. Next up, another Chelsea one. This is a Chelsea track jacket, not part of the big bundle I got with Luke. I got this at a Wednesday car boot. 4527 down here. 2014, 2015, just a lightweight track top. Sold for £23. Paid £4 for that one at the car boot. A leather jacket, Marks and Spencer's leather jacket. Now this has sold before and then it came back to me. Then it sold again and they cancelled the order. So hopefully, third time lucky, this will stick. And it's 4698. 4698, just a faux leather jacket here. Size 16, sold for £18. Cost of goods on that, again, I think it was from the £2.99 charity shop, so low cost of goods. Marks and Spencer's blazer, nothing crazy, sold for £19.99 next. And once again, I didn't put the SKU number in, but luckily we got the picture. So 5360, 5360, just a Marks and Spencer's blazer. And that sold for £19.99. All right, a bit of a random one here. In the charity shop I go to, a lady who works there brought in a couple of these programs. One was Michael Jackson. This one here was the Spice Girls program from the World Tour. And the date on this, I think it is, have I got a listing? Yeah, 1998. So it's just it's just a program from the tour. So it's got their pictures in, it's just got loads of random stuff really. Anyway, nothing crazy, £10 plus the post. That was given to me free of charge. I didn't expect more than that for it, to be honest with you, but you never know. And the last sale I've got for eBay is a Nicole Fari coat. I spoke about this, I think it was last week in the pick and pack video, and said I wouldn't pick up this brand again. It's been sitting around for a while. 4545. So it's going to be one of the early ones here, I think. So yeah, again, nothing crazy. Sold for £17.50. So that is all the eBay sales. As I said at the start, I am dipping back into more of the everything side as well. I really enjoy it, to be honest with you. The clothing's great. During the week, that is still the plan with the clothing. I'm enjoying picking up the random stuff. I'm enjoying picking up the cameras again, the stuff I used to pick up before. I find it a lot more enjoyable when I'm also making the content, when I'm editing the videos, when you guys are watching it as well, to see a bit of a range of items instead of just being clothing, etc. And where I want to take the business, I plan to go to 30 a day is going to be my maximum of where I want to take it. And I believe I can still have a majority clothing store with, you know, 35% of the everything stuff chucked in and still make it work. So that's the plan anyway, but we all know what I'm like. The plans change every 5 minutes. Before we go on to the Vinted orders, let me just grab something else here. This here, Power Rangers toy. I saw this in my charity shop and I reached out to a friend of the channel, Lee, Cheltenham Toys, Lee, and I said, it's a bit of you this, isn't it? And managed to get this for £10. It is missing some of the bits. I'm going to ship that to Lee today. So Lee, if you're watching the video, I have sent you an Instagram. Please send me your address. Hopefully you would have seen it before the video goes out, but I will ship that to Lee today. Okay, let's move on to some Vinted sales. Not many on Vinted this weekend, as I say. First things first, I've already packed it up. We've got a Polo Ralph Lauren cap. This sold for £10. Got it a couple of weeks ago from the car boot. Shouldn't have picked it up, to be honest with you. It's nothing special, so let's not talk about that too much. We sold a Queen's Park Rangers training jumper. Again, I had a deal a while ago for loads of QPR stuff, again from the car boot. This sold for £18 and we are looking for number 4877. There we are, right at the front, which is good. 4877. All that QPR stuff, I think I was paying like £2 a piece. I've sold quite a bit of it already. I've still got a few more training jumpers left, so getting them cleared out. And the only other one we had on Vinted to pull, we had a Ralph Lauren polo shirt, 5378. Again, this might be at home or it could be down here. 5378. As I say, I've got some stuff to sort out here. That's the plan for today as well. So that's it. That's all the sales. Let me know how you're getting on in the comments. See you very soon.